Hey everybody, this is Jason Blake. I'm the designer of Cysmic and the founder of Star Reach Games. This is a video update to tell you about everything that's happened since the first week of the campaign started. This is going to cover a lot. I'm just going to jump right on into it. So you guys probably saw I didn't get an update out in the last couple of days as quick as I would have liked. That's because I was in Miami and traveling from Texas. What's in Miami? Probably a lot of you know. I was at the Dice Tower Studios. I flew in Monday and we had a full playthrough of a 4-player game live on the Dice Tower network for Seismic on Tuesday morning. Many of you I know from the campaign jumped in and followed along with us during the live show. It was fantastic. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. Lots of laughing, lots of fun times. It was better than I could have hoped. Tom and everybody at Dice Tower were so welcoming, and they had a lot of really wonderful things to say on camera and off. Even after I got to go back and visit with them after the live play, many nice things were said. And in fact, one of the best compliments I think a game designer could ever get is that people are still thinking about your game hours after they've played. And Chris Yee and I spoke pretty good at length about the game afterwards, and he told me so many things where he was considering lots of things that he would do differently, or now that he was trying to think about the puzzle of when to play the cards, how to tie them into the bonus actions. And that is just one of the best compliments I could ever hope for. Very humbling to be over there. So thanks so much to everybody at the Dice Tower, and of course thanks to all you for watching and supporting the live playthrough over there on their channel. But the bigger news even, and this is the kind of stuff that Kickstarter's made for, right? You know, the big news is during the playthrough, we funded, and that was huge. In fact, it was a little embarrassing. I didn't get any notifications. I had all the things on my phone turned off to silence, so I didn't even know. And in fact, Chris Yee stopped the game and pointed it out. He's like, "Jason, look at the monitor." And I was like, "Oh, we funded." So, I mean, you cannot ask it for any better scenario than an indie designer, completely indie publishing, indie designing my own game, going over to the Dice Tower and actually having my game fund live on camera with Tom Vassell, Z Garcia, and Chris Yee playing the game. That's the kind of stuff dreams are made of. It was just what an unbelievable good memory I will have for the rest of my life. That's just super fun. So what else happened in that exact moment? Well, not only did we break through our funding goal, but we also unlocked our first stretch goal in that same gameplay, and I didn't even get to address that. But the first stretch goal was unlocked at $75,000, and that is the Songularity. It is the 19th playable faction in the game, and it's a very special faction. That faction does not start with a colony ship. That is an AI-driven faction, and you are basically an artificial intelligence that is self-aware, and you are manipulating your own units so that you can ally kind of dynamically with everybody else at the table. And what you're trying to do is get access to somebody else's ship who is in turn going to upload you to their colony ship databank so that you can leave with them. A wildly asymmetrical faction, and one that is really for the gamers, and you guys I'm sure have them in your game groups, the gamer who is the loudest, who is the most gregarious, and who is the most table talk person, let's just say. That's going to be the faction for them. So speaking of stretch goals, we just introduced our second stretch goal. That is a biggie. We've got a whole new set of what I'm calling the Molten Core promo card series. The first 3 cards are discovery cards. These are going to be cards that, the reason I call them Molten Core is this is a whole new series of cards that will be kind of little mini expansions that the game will come with in the box. These cards are going to have a symbol down in the corner that will determine whether you want to choose to add these to the decks of cards in the game based on how your game group sees fit. These cards are what I lovingly refer to as table flipping cards. These are generally cards that just didn't make the final cut for the base game, and I think that they are super fun to design, and I really enjoy them. But they just are so darn extreme. Some people, and there's a lot of extreme things in Seismic, but these are extreme even by Seismic standards. So the first series, like I said, is 3 discovery cards, and they're referred to as the Alien series. You can read what these cards do on the stretch goal that is now posted on the page, and they are brutal. But what you can do is you can always leave them in the box, or you can choose to shuffle them right in. It makes no difference whether you take 1, 2, or all. And there will be more of these cards coming up in future stretch goals. I just hate to have these that I really like myself, because I know other game groups, and playtesting has also shown me that other playtest groups have enjoyed having these cards for the wild, crazy swings that they bring to the table. So be on the lookout for the Molten Core symbol cards. These are going to affect Espionage, Relic, and Discovery cards going forward on stretch goals coming up. So at 87,000, those will be unlocked, and I need your help to get there. Speaking of needing your help, we have done something kind of crazy. But before I get to that, I do want to say this is part of the crazy thing I did. We introduced a new tier in the last 2 days. We now have 3 tiers for the game, the different levels of the game to pledge for on the campaign. We have a new tier at 179. It's a 4-player only version of the game. We have taken many of the components of the core version, and we've taken the miniatures for 4 players from the designer edition, and we've put those together, and we've created a hybrid version, and it plays wonderfully. There's no problems with it, and I've got approval from my manufacturer that we can make this version happen now. So this is called the Deluxe Edition, not to be confused with the Designer Vision Deluxe Edition. And the Designer Vision, of course, is that 249 tier. And that is the big difference is between these 2 versions is you only get 4-player at the 179 tier. You also do not get the 3D mountains. You do not get the habitats, which are the white buildings. You don't get the control flags. You will not get the bag of fracture tokens. You will get the fractured deck from the core version, among various other cost-effective approaches to making sure that we can produce that one at 179. So, fantastic version. If this is better for your budget, I hope that you'll give it a second shot now. And if you didn't want the core version, and then you didn't want the 249 edition for the designer edition, this is that sweet spot finally for you. All right. Having said that, the 3 tiers now, I have some big exciting news. This is kind of a crazy experiment. I don't think I've ever seen any other Kickstarter do it. But I have introduced something called the Shipping Voucher Activity Meter. And of course, if you've played the game, if you've seen the game at conventions, or you've played it on Tabletop Simulator, you will know that new graphic near the very top of the campaign page is based on our our trimmer activity meter that ends in fractures. And this is a brand new experiment I'm trying, because I'm so happy right now that I have hundreds of backers. But what I really want, and being an indie developer, an indie designer, and publisher, this is so important to me. I want Seismic on thousands of tables, not just hundreds. And so I've come up with a plan to try to make everybody incentivized more than ever. I know that the shipping for a box this size and for this much weight, it's expensive. I knew that, and I know I've heard you, I've seen you in the comments. People have bounced off the shipping kind of hard, and I get it. I've backed 253 or 235 other campaigns myself on Kickstarter. I know how it is. It's anytime I see high shipping, I go, oof, I wince, and I, kind of cringe, and I'm like, but you know what? This is the world we live in, and it's very tough. I've gotten multiple quotes. This is the best one that I've got, and it's not fun. That is one of the parts of me bringing a game like this to you that it just isn't fun for me to have to introduce those kind of prices. But because it's not fun for you guys, I am going to try to make it up to you. How am I going to do that? I am going to give you shipping subsidy vouchers in the Pledge Manager after the campaign ends, based on how much campaign funds that we end up with at the end. So what does all that mean? So at 80,000, which we have actually passed during the time I was making this video, we have unlocked the very first shipping voucher. I will be giving everybody that backs the designer edition $5 off of their shipping that they can use in the Pledge Manager after the campaign ends, $3 off the deluxe version, the 179 tier, and $2 off of the retail core version, which is that $99 tier. $5, $3, and $2. Those vouchers are already ready to go and valid. Those will be given to you when the Pledge Manager opens based on your pledge at the end of the campaign. Now, this is important. These vouchers are going to be issued based on your pledge that you have when the campaign ends. This is not for late pledges. This is not for dollar pledges. And this is not for retailers. This is strictly for the backers that really are the ones helping me to bring this game to life. So basically, make sure when the campaign ends, you've got to choose one of those 3 tiers to be eligible for one of these shipping vouchers. But wait, what's to be excited about when it's only $5, $3, and $2, right? Let me tell you what I'm going to do. Every $20,000 that we gain in the campaign, every time we hit a new marker, the next marker for us is $100,000 in campaign funds, I am going to give another $5 for designer, $3 for deluxe, and $2 for retail. And I'm going to continue to do that 10 more times. 10 times total. What that means is when we reach 200, notice I said when and not if, when we reach $260,000 in campaign funds, the designer edition pledge backers are going to get $50 in shipping vouchers towards their shipping. The deluxe tier pledge backers are going to be getting $30 in shipping vouchers, and the retail pledge backers are going to be getting $20 in shipping vouchers. This will virtually pay for your shipping in most cases. So I know many of you that live in regions that are just very, very expensive to ship to. This is going to be a help, but it's not everything. But for the large majority of you, this is actually going to end up covering most, if not all, of your shipping, making it virtually free. So this is my goal, is all of us to work together to help everybody. And the more we gain more people towards the campaign, the more that everybody saves, and the more money overall that I can provide for shipping to help everybody get Cysmic on their tables worldwide. And that's my goal. That's how I win. Even though I'm giving you guys all this money towards the shipping, what I get in return is I get more copies made, and I get it out all around the world. And of course, that is my ultimate goal as an indie developer, as an indie publisher, is to see my game go out and actually make an impact and provide entertainment and joy and memories around the table for friends, family, and everybody that is a gamer and ready to try Cysmic. That's my goal, is to get it out there and have everybody form those memories and those great experiences. So that is a lot. Thanks so much. If you made it through the whole video, that is a whole lot to have covered. We are well on our way to unlocking that second stretch goal, and we are also well on our way to unlocking the next voucher level. So keep that in mind. If you're on the fence, if you're one of the dollar backers, or if you're on the fence and you're watching this video and you haven't pledged yet, Write me, pledge $1, write me in the comments. Tell me why you're either choosing $1 or tell me why you have not pledged for one of the other tiers. What is it that's holding you back? I am open to conversations. I interact with everybody in the comments, everybody in the forums. Ask me directly, join our Discord channel. I will talk to you at length there at any given moment as much as I can. And I am more than open to hear all the feedback that everybody has for me. So I can't make this campaign improve without that kind of feedback, and I am more than open to hearing everything you have to say. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. We have funded, and it's thanks to you guys for all of your support. I really appreciate it, and so far this has been a wild adventure, and I cannot thank you all enough. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.